we are through 3 steps in the writing process. So we're getting there. And if you look back over what you've done, you started with a list, had a rough draft, and then a first revision. And you can see very quickly that your first revision says things a whole lot better than your rough draft, which of course said a lot more than your original list. But if you were to take all the time that you've put into writing all 3 of those, my bet would be that you haven't spent an hour yet, okay? And one of the big beauties of the writing process, but besides the fact that it helps you get to a much better piece of writing, is that it goes so much faster. Because, and I might have said this in one of the other videos, I doubt there's any of us who has not had the experience of sitting down to do a piece of writing and an hour later have nothing written, right? You've already written 3 steps, and we're going to be going on to a 4th step, which is explained pretty deeply in the lesson. And this one will take a little more time because we're really getting into nuts and bolts kind of stuff now, okay? But it's not difficult. It just takes some concentration, and I give you the things in here that you're supposed to concentrate on, okay? Up until now, I've been telling you, don't worry about sentence structure, don't worry about punctuation, don't worry about spelling. We've gone from a list to sentencing it out to paragraphing it and having it communicate better. Well, now we're working on those 3 things, okay? The spelling, the punctuation, the sentence structure. And probably the opposite order is the most important, sentence structure. You know, English is a very logical language, and a sentence is a unit of logic. So we have to write in sentences, okay, for a reader to be able to understand it. We can sometimes get away with not speaking in sentences because there's somebody right there who can say, huh? And then you can finish your idea. But in writing, you can't do that. You have to give it to them all right here, right now, okay? So keep in mind that every group of words that comes between periods has to be a grammatically complete sentence, okay? And of course, the first sentence in your paper, in each paragraph, has to be a grammatically complete sentence. Many of you wrote mostly complete sentences in your first revision. I want all of you to write all complete sentences in your second revision, okay? So that's a big thing that you're concentrating on, and you're also concentrating on not writing run-on sentences. In a lot of people's mind, there is a misconception about what a run-on sentence is. A run-on sentence is not a long sentence. A run-on sentence is a sentence that has a sentence as part of it, but then has more on it that isn't grammatically correct. So a run-on sentence is actually a grammatically incorrect sentence. It has nothing to do with the length of the sentence. Please read the lesson very carefully, and I give you pages in your text to look at about sentence structure. Please do that. It talks about sentence fragments. It talks about run-on sentences. This is the time, right now, this week, to eliminate those things from your writing. It's not all that difficult because you all know how to do it. You all learned it a long time ago. Now you have to concentrate on it, okay? But that's why we've been going through the process. We gathered information. We sentenced it out. We broke it down into logical units and different paragraphs and made it flow nicely. And we made sure we had specifics and details. Okay, we made sure we were saying something. Now is the time when we're working on saying it better, saying it right. And it has to all be in sentences to say it right. Okay? So that's one of the things you're working on this week. Another thing is using specific words. Now, as students, all of us were given assignments to do by our teachers. Write 500 words on this topic. Is there anybody out there who could honestly say that when you were trying to write 500 words on a topic, sometimes, most of the time, in the midst of those assignments, you'd figure out how to say things in as many words as possible because you'd want to get to that 500 word level or 300 word level or whatever it was, okay? Well, what that does is it develops in us very bad writing skills. You see, good writing is to the point. Good writing is concrete. Good writing is concise. It says what it's supposed to say without wasting words. I've encouraged you to add details and specifics. They are part of good writing. But fluffy, useless details and specifics are not part of good writing. You'll see examples in your book, and I give some examples in the lesson. So writing concisely is a big step forward for you. In a sense, what that means is taking the idea that you have and saying it in as few words as you can while you still get the entire idea across. Okay? So that's what concise means. Concise does not mean leave out details. Concise means leave out the stuff you don't need. Okay? So concise writing is a big part of this revision. Okay? And part of concise writing is getting rid of the word there in your writing. You only want to use the word there, T-H-E-R-E, when you mean a place. Okay? Put the book there. Stand over there. Park the car there. My house is over there. In each of those situations, the word there means a place. Okay? And that is the only way you want to use the word T-H-E-R-E, meaning place. You do not want to use the word there when you are saying there are 4 people in the room. That's a dead word. It does nothing. Okay? You would be saying it better, more concisely, more to the point to say 4 people are in the room. Get rid of that there are. Okay? And, you know, in a lot of your papers that you did for this week, you said things like, over in the corner, there are. Get rid of that there are. You know, over in the corner are. You don't need that there. It's a wasted word. It's a dead word. We want your language to be concise. We're in a hurry-up society, okay? And people don't want to read wasted words, first of all, okay? But secondly, wasted words means poor writing. So don't use T-H-E-R-E for anything other than a place. You know there are 3 words that we pronounce as there. T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E, which means they are sitting on the couch. Okay. T-H-E-I-R, as in this is their house, they own it, it's theirs. T-H-E-I-R. I'm not talking about those 2 words. I'm talking about the word T-H-E-R-E, and from now on that only means a place. Okay? Good. So there's lots of stuff in the lesson for you to read. Now, one other thing, I give you an introduction to finding a research paper topic. We will be writing research papers. I'm not asking you to do anything other than think about a topic, okay? And I give you, a couple of suggestions of areas to think about, but it's really wide open. I give you some boundaries in the sense of what kinds of things that you should think about in terms of what those boundaries are. But that's all. So this is a time for you to think and explore, okay? So besides listing it in your assignment next week, I also want you to send me an email as the answer to the video question this week as to what are 2 possible topics that you have for a research paper. Okay? Questions, you know where to find me. Have a good week. Keep up the good work. You're doing great.